Hello boys and girls, my name is White Rhino PSO, and today we're playing Welcome to the Game. But before we get started, I'm going to try and give a little backstory. So from what I understand, the parts of the internet that most people visit on a regular basis makes up just a tiny fraction of all of the content that's out there. The rest of it, known as the deep web, is considered uncategorized, which means you can't find it with a normal search engine. Now, a program called the Onion Router, or Tor, not only lets people more easily access the deep web, but it also allows them to do so while remaining completely anonymous. This means that there's a lot of really illegal stuff that found a sort of safe haven in the deep web. Stuff like buying and selling drugs, stuff like kidnapping or hiring a hitman to kill somebody, or even stuff like child pornography. Now, the reason I bring all of this up is because Welcome to the Game is sort of a deep web browsing simulator, although obviously it's been exaggerated to turn it into a horror game. A lot of the content you're going to see in these videos is either inspired by or directly taken from some of the darkest parts of the deep web. And finally, for anyone interested in seeing more actual content from the deep web, I've put a link down in the description to a playlist where a guy named Mutahar from a channel called Some Ordinary Gamers regularly posts videos of himself browsing the deep web. Now that that's all out of the way, let's get started. The normal game is how it's meant to be played. Casual mode is just if you want to just see the content of the websites in the games. There's no bad guys that come after you, no hacking, or no endings or anything. So I'm definitely going to start on normal, and yes, overwrite my previous save because I was just testing things out. So, a red room is a hidden service on the deep web to see and participate in interactive torture and murder. And for whatever reason, the goal of the game, your character wants to find his way to watching a red room. Don't ask me why, the game doesn't really explain that. I am going to go through the in-game tutorial, though, because I think it does a pretty good job of explaining the different mechanics that are going to be in play.
Hey, so, yeah. Are you sure you want to do this? The deep web is full of fucked up shit. Even worse, a red room. There are some things you can't unsee. Alright, well, don't say I didn't warn you. The deep web is like a giant maze. There is no search engine. So you have to do some exploring to find out what you are looking for. First thing, there is two main programs of which you'll be using on your search for a red room. Anne and Notes. Anne is a web browser that allows you to access the deep web. You can't access these sites on a normal browser.
Anne is this game's version of the Onion Router.
Notes is, notes. You can use this to take notes on what you discover. So this is a pretty important tool to use. I went ahead and set your homepage on Anne to a deep wiki page to get you started. What you are looking for are 8 hidden keys on the deep web. Not all sites have them, but some do. You have to explore each page, click the links, and see what you discover. A hidden key looks like this. Each key contains an order number associated with them. This is important. Once you have found all 8 keys, you have to type out the complete key in order. This will provide you with the red room's URL. This is where the notes system comes handy. You could keep track of all the keys you have found. Another tricky thing with the deep web is that some pages are only up at certain times of the night. If you look at the top right corner of your screen, you will notice a clock. Obviously, this is your current time. So if a site you visit is not up, try again a couple hours later. Next to the clock, you will notice a day count. This keeps track of how many days have passed since you started your search for a red room.
From what I understand, you only have 30 days to find the red room.
Alright, now that is out of the way, let's get on to the more interesting things about the deep web. When you explore the deep web, you're exposed to hackers. These hackers will attempt to attack you, but don't worry, I went ahead and installed some tools to prevent this from happening. There are 3 kinds of attacks that happen to you while you browse the deep web. The first one being a denial of service attack, or better known as a DOS attack. When a hacker attempts to DOS you, you'll be prompted with the DOS blocker tool to try and block the attack. You simply just have to click the action nodes in the puzzle and redirect the traffic to the exit node. This prevents the packets from flooding your system. You have to activate all of them though. If you don't, you will get hacked. Pro tip, you can hold the middle mouse button to speed up the process.
The middle mouse button on my mouse is broken, so this is not a tip that I can use.
I'm going to go ahead and launch a DOS attack on you, so you can test this out for yourself. Ready?
Yeah, so you have to guide it through this maze, and it has to hit every one of the nodes before it gets to the exit. Otherwise, you fail.
Okay, great. You nailed it. The second type of attack that can happen to you is the kernel attack. Hackers will try to corrupt your kernel and prevent you from using your system. Just like the DOS blocker tool, I went ahead and installed the kernel compiler tool for you to fix the corrupted code. With this tool, you simply just have to type what you see on the screen. Alright, now I will launch a kernel attack on you, so you can test it out for yourself. Ready?
Of the three styles of hacks, this is my favorite because I like to type things. Yes.
Okay, great. Now let's move to the third and final type of attack. A vector access performance executor, or better known as a vape attack.
Back when I watched people play this, like Markiplier and Raidwolf, I don't think this hack was actually part of the game.
A vape attack will corrupt your memory segment blocks by rearranging them out of order. Just like the previous two tools, I went ahead and installed the Cloud Grid for you to correct these segments. With the Cloud Grid, you must rearrange the memory segments so they are not horizontal or vertical from each other. A corrupted memory segment looks like this, and a correct memory segment looks like this.
This is the style of hack that also I couldn't really find much information on how to deal with, so I think what happens is you click an area and it changes the blocks around it.
I'm going to go ahead and launch a vape attack on you. Ready?
As I'll ever be. Okay, no, you click and then move them.
Hack if your IP address is revealed. By default, Anne hides your IP address, but some websites may reveal it to the hackers. If you're getting hacked and would like for it to stop, simply just reset the modem. This will reset your IP address.
I believe resetting the modem wasn't also a thing back in the day either, and it takes quite a while to do.
That's about it. You are now ready to explore the deep web. Oh, wait a minute. A couple more things I forgot to mention. First, this is just an urban legend, so I'm not sure if it's true or not. But they say the farther you get into the deep web, kidnappers will try to locate and kidnap you. So be on the lookout for this. If you think someone is tracking you, just turn all the lights off and be quiet. Don't say a word. When you think the coast is clear, turn the lights back on.
The don't say a word thing, this is that game that I sometimes mention that has microphone integration, which I actually turned off because obviously if I'm going to be doing a Let's Play and I'm going to be reading out different websites and such, I'm not going to be able to remain quiet when people are trying to stalk me.
Now besides that, this I can promise you is real. Where you currently are, there is a serial killer on the loose. They call him the Breather. He looks for his victims browsing the deep web or random hitchhikers.
Yeah, this also was not part of the original game, the Breather.
It's kind of weird, but he also calls his prey before he kills them, breathing into the phone and saying other things that don't make sense. Hence why he's called the Breather.
Okay, I do have a phone next to me.
If you're somehow unfortunate to be a target of his, you have to block the front door with your life. He has a strict set of rules where he can only attack if he breaks through the front door. Don't ask me why.
Oh, also, I've heard that the phone going off will make noise that the kidnappers can hear as well. So, yeah. Even if the phone starts ringing and you're like, well, it's the Breather, you still have to answer the phone.
So if you feel like he's targeting you, be sure to check the front door at the house you're at. If he is there, Hold the doorknob with your life and hope he doesn't get too aggressive. How do you check the door and turn the lights off? Well, once you zoom out of the computer mode by hitting the right click button, hit the A, S, D keys to look around you. Certain items will trigger a sub-action you can do.
Yeah, so if you hold S, you can then turn the lights off, which turns off pretty much all of the power in the house. Or if you hold D, then you can go check the front door to try and make sure that the breather doesn't come in.
Well, that's it. Good luck.
All right, tutorial over. Oh, not... I gotta get used to the whole right click and left click thing. All right, so put the notes off to the side. And the home page is a list of links. And some of these are only open certain times of the day or the night. And some of them will immediately hack you. And some of them just don't work at all, I think. Alphabet Market. Nothing there. Burned at the stake. All right. Is that... why is it zoomed out like that? Oh, that's weird. Hundreds of years ago, dating all the way back to the 15th century, our ancestors had taken upon themselves to rid the good people of these menaces. Witches were hunted down, forced to admit to their treachery, and then eliminated. Beheaded, hanging, dismemberment, but most importantly, burning them at the stake. It's not merely symbolic, you see. It sends a message to the covens who think themselves safe from our retribution. We pride ourselves on our ability to dismantle the pagans who come together for these gatherings, and one by one we hunt them down. Our numbers are growing by the day, and we are gaining ground on the witches that have become a global epidemic. The politically correct bullshit of our environment has allowed this wound to fester, and we are here to lance and drain it. Then burn what remains. If you have a reasonable suspicion of witches living amongst your community, then contact us and let the professionals do the rest. We will hunt them down one by one, cleansing their filth they left behind. If it is a coven, then we will typically wait until one of their ritual practices takes place on a full or new moon. Once they've left the safety of the city, it is easy enough to pick them off. Location defendant. We will then start a bonfire and burn the witches as they deserve. Jesus. All right, that isn't offering much. The codes are sometimes hidden in little clickable things on web pages. All right, is the Alphabet Market still down? Yes. All right, what do we got next? Chosen Awake. Oh, God, this one. Okay. You have been chosen. You have always been awake. Seek and it shall be found. Nothing will be achieved without the time and tenacity. Question and it shall be earned. Look, listen, learn, brothers and sisters. Continue your search. Reject hatred and embrace love. Now, I've seen this one before. Each of these sections has a different clickable thing. It's not that. What was that? I don't think that was anything. All right, so that was the first one. And now one of these dots. Yeah, that's the shitty part is you have to find the right dot. And then each time you mess up, it resets the whole page. Okay, it's the bottom one there. I think it's always that little triangle. I just heard a breathing. Yeah, so what you do when you hear some sort of sound in the house is you go and turn off the lights, which turns off all the power, and kind of like sit and relax temporarily. All right, let me try this again real fast. Triangle. None of them. Bottom one. Can I just skip ahead? No, I can't. I have to do... I wish the website wasn't... Ooh, there we go. Leftmost. Bottom? No. Alright. Bottom. Triangle. Leftmost. Number 2 is incorrect. Come on. Number 1. No. I don't... What was that? I'm going to turn the lights off again just in case. Because this game is all about, like, lulling yourself into a false sense of security by doing something kind of mundane, like just browsing the internet. And then that ends up screwing you over. Where was I? Leftmost. Bottom? No. Shit. I think I already checked the bottom. Triangle. Left. 3. Okay. What did I even click? Top man? No. Bottom triangle. That one. 3. Man number 2, incorrect. It's not number 3. Bottom dot triangle. Left 3. Is it not one of the men at all? Come on. What else? Is it checked all 4 of the guys? None of the circles. None of the triangles do it. Let me try the men again. Something is saving. Oh. I actually took so long that it's a different day now. Number 2. Come on, I know that there's a code in this website somewhere. Number 3. And number 4 is the man. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Now what happens? Oh. Damn it. All right. Man number 4. All right. It's... Oh. Is that a control click? Okay. So now I have a link. Ooh, okay. There we go. So this is a link that brings me to the Deep Wiki 2, which I guess is just a further section of the Deep Wiki. Darkbook. Ooh, Darkbook is a thing. Welcome to Darkbook, the most twisted social network on the deep web. Do you want access? Contact us below, and we may or may not let you in. No special clickables. Yeah, these links, like, you can't really visit them at all. Death log? No, this one's working too. Deathlog, Entry 1. I went out for a morning jog like I always do, but instead of my usual routine, I decided to go down a new trail. This one was winding and went through some thick underbrush that I nearly got lost in. When I reached my 2-mile mark, I decided to take a break and walk around for a little bit. I've never gone far enough into the forest to see the river, let alone hear it, so I thought I'd go check it out. When I heard the sound of flowing water. That's when I found it. There was a bloated body along the edge of the river. It freaked me the fuck out. Didn't even look that human anymore, but it's impossible to mistake it for anything else, you know? The smell was terrible, and I guess it must have been fairly fresh because none of the wildlife had started eating it yet. I haven't told the cops yet. Should I? When I get close enough to it, I saw the eyes just looked at me, and I really don't know what to do. Can't sleep because I see that face every time I close my eyes. I know the cops would want me to take them back out there, but I haven't even gone running again since I saw it. Entry number 2. Nothing new for people to die of exposure around here, especially during the winter. It gets really cold. Typically when passing someone who isn't moving or unconscious, I just keep walking. There's so many of them that it isn't worth checking every single one. Where the hell does this guy live? But this one was different. Cut through an alley and get home and saw a hand sticking out of a dumpster. Figured it was a prank. No, it was a trash can full of body parts. Yeah, I touched it. Then called the police. Got in trouble for touching evidence or whatever, but who wouldn't? Never seen someone dismembered before. So I guess this is just a bunch of different entries. Like it's all different people having encountered dead bodies. That's great. Entry 3. So my friends and I like to do urban exploring. Go into abandoned places and underground. That's sort of like spelunking, but in the city. We've never found a dead body until yesterday. Holy shit, man. That's some fucked up shit. We were sort of trespassing, so we can't tell anyone where, but I had to get it off my chest. So anyway, we were in this old meatpacking facility, right? And there was a goddamn body on a hook. One of those fucking meat hooks. It looked like she'd been carved into or something. Honestly, I didn't look too closely. We have it all recorded on our GoPros, and I'm not sure if I should delete the footage or not. Fuck, man. Fuck. Fuck. 4 of us were together when we found her. We're gonna go back tomorrow night just to be sure it wasn't some prank. If it's not, we have to report it, right? Yeah. Entry 4. Someone found my facility, it seems. Rather, someone's. I saw them on my surveillance feed and had a feeling they would locate the girl, but I thought it might be interesting to see what they did. It's not often I get visitors. It was somewhat disappointing to watch them flee. Imagine my delight when these tenacious teens came back for a second showing. Great. They'll join her. Why do people still throw their babies out in the trash? You dumbass motherfuckers leave people like me to find your dead kid. Fucking hell, I've seen enough dead babies to last a lifetime. My job entails finding a lot of dead bodies. I won't go into details, but there's something about the newly deceased that really messes with me. If you've never seen a corpse, I envy you. When someone's recently passed, they don't look all that different at first. Sure, there's biological components that sometimes result in a nasty smell, but initially they're just there. The first one was the worst for me, and whenever I have to declare someone DOA in a similar position, it brings back memories of it. He was a young boy, young guy, mid-30s maybe, definitely too young to have died as he did. It was an AA, aortic aneurysm. The poor guy bled out without realizing what was happening, died in minutes without anyone there. His family found him... Oh, there's day 3. His family found him the next morning. We showed up to declare the deceased, and it was so eerie. There he was, eyes shut and reclined in his chair at his computer desk like he was just taking a nap. Blood pools in your lower extremities when you die, so we couldn't even see any noticeable discoloration in his skin. Pale, sure, but what workaholic isn't nowadays? Whenever I looked away from him, but could still see his body out of the corner of my eye, I would have sworn he breathed or moved. There's this unnatural feeling around a corpse. They don't quite look like a corpse until you're staring directly at them. I would have sworn I saw him move many times. I had to go back and double check for liver mortis and rigor just to reassure myself that he was dead. I'm not sure what liver mortis is. I've heard of rigor mortis. I couldn't stay in the room long. I kept expecting him to stand up or turn his head and gaze at me. I've left gifts for you across the city. Can you find them all? Like a map, it will lead you to me. or maybe it will guide you to your own deaths. It would be nice to be included in this scavenger hunt of mine, don't you think? I'll give you a hint. The last one that I killed was a young man, unnaturally dyed hair and wearing a green shirt with black pixel art on it. I left him in the park, a Joker's smile. I found my parents this morning, both of them. Suicide, homicide is what the cops said or something. I don't know. I can't remember much of what else they said. Everything feels like it's happening to someone else. I'm numb to it. Is it different when it's your own family? I don't know if I want to be around anymore. Why would he do something like this? I guess it was the dad. Have you seen a dead body? Found a corpse lying in the middle of nowhere? We want to see and hear about it. Submit your story along with a picture for fun and let us know how and where you found it. If you don't want to include person details or location, that's fine. And as far as I know, there was no special links or anything. All right, so back to the main page. That was Death Log. Deep Weed. Unable to connect. I don't know if that just means not 12:15 a.m. or Dr. Murder. Dr. Murder, 2012 to 2016. About, we're a group of doctors offering a final solution to what is likely not a temporary problem. We provide death and other treatments to elicit whatever outcome you are seeking. Be it the aforementioned or something a little more specific. Some of the treatments we offer are death. The patient of your choosing will be killed through a method that you select. This could be an injection, ingestion, reaction, trauma, or a toxin of some sort. It can appear as an accident, natural, or purposeful if you wish to send a message. The cost of this treatment ranges from $20,000 or $20 to $300,000 depending on the difficulty of the operation and the target. Torture. If you don't want someone dead but do want them to suffer for whatever reason, then we can offer services ranging from limb removal, kidnapping, rape, or whatever it is you're thinking about. Whatever you can think up, we can make reality. The cost of this treatment ranges from $10,000 to $250,000. So that's probably $20,000 up there, depending on the extent of torture required to achieve the desired outcome. Or information. Should you require confirmation or extrapolation on a topic, then we have professionals who are extremely skilled in carving out whatever it is you seek to know. Interrogation techniques are one of our most sought-after services. The cost of this treatment ranges from $25,000 to $150,000, depending on the time required to treat the patient and obtain information. Shit. Okay, so in case you didn't hear that, that was the sound of a chair scraping across the floor. And that is, I believe, one of the telltale signs that the kidnappers are very close. So I'm going to just wait another 5 or so seconds and then turn the lights back on. All right, hopefully it is safe now. Contact. We require a consultation first and foremost to determine if the patient is right for our care. Some exceptions to our services include 18-year-olds or younger, pregnant women, celebrities, or politicians. Contact us below to set up an appointment with one of our care providers. The consultation fee will be $10,000 non-negotiable and will be paid prior to the consultation. All right, so that was Dr. Murder. How about Dream Place? Can't connect. All right, but it looks like I'm about out of time for this video anyway. So as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.